Alright, BobalosRex here, and today is the day 11.1.7, and we're going to be getting a game-changing feature in my opinion. Alright, and I'll tell y'all why. I think it's going to be one of the biggest features added in this patch. It's not my favorite feature, but it is a great feature, I think, being added and set up for a lot of interesting things to come. So, what am I talking about? One button mode. Not just one button mode, but the whole feature. Because I think the feature that's going to be used more is combat assist. Because we're going to be talking about a large majority of players that are going to use combat assist. But let's get to it. How do you turn on these modes? What's up with these modes? How do you use them? Well, you head on into options. Alright, from the game menu, go to gameplay enhancements. I do want to talk about this in a bit, but for single button assistance is what it's called. You head over to the spell book. It's going to be right up here up top. Drag it down, put it anywhere in your bar. You can put multiple of it on your bar. You have a full bar of the single button mode. Now what the single button mode is going to do is just that. Alright, it's going to push whatever button you need to do next. It's going to target a mob. It's a target ability. And you're just going to hit that one button and do what you're going to do. Alright, now the interesting part about one button mode is the spell doesn't even have to be on your bar. So here, we'll take that off. It'll still do it. Right? So if you pull up your spell book, pull this down, you don't need to click any of your other spells on your bar, and you just use it. Okay? Now, there is another feature that I want to talk about. And this is a feature, because here's the thing. This is going to be good for some people, but the main feature I want to talk about is assisted highlight. Now this feature, what this does is this shows you what to click. Now you can use the one button mode, be it the slight global cooldown disadvantage, whatever. Or you can use highlight assist, which if you play classes normally, when you get something glowing yellow, it makes you pay attention. Well, now combat assist will have this blue glow. Right? Hopefully you can change the color, make it brighter or something. But yeah, so you have this blue glow now. So with that, you'll just follow the blue glow. But you'll still have to do your targeted abilities, and you may be noticing, it's not hitting my cooldowns, right? It's just doing my rotation. It's just for my rotation, alright? People are still gonna need to learn kick, in tanks, cases, defensives, alright? You're gonna need to learn how to use your cooldowns, alright? But that's something else that they need to get better at teaching, as part of the game. But that's also a discussion for later. Now, let's start talking about who are these for, right? Because people are... Actually, let's talk about who they're not for first, because I'm one of the players that isn't probably going to use this. I was thinking when making this, I was like, maybe on some of my characters I'll turn it on, but I'm like, I pretty much know every class, and for the ones I don't know, it's like healers, and this doesn't work for healers. So who this is for is not for a hardcore player that reads all those spells and wants to learn the classes and feel and know what I'm doing. I'm not going to be using blue mode. Maybe I'll use blue mode, but I'm not going to be using one button mode. Alright. Healers, it doesn't heal. Okay. High-end tanks, it's not going to do your defensives. High-end DPS, it's not going to do your cooldowns. So it's not for the high-end people. It's not for the hardcore people that want to live and breathe the game and know everything about it. Though, like I said, combat assist may just help the people that want to play all the classes. So that may not be true for that. But for healers, like I said, you ain't gonna be able to use it. But unless you need to do cooldown or damage rotations, it'll be good for you. You don't gotta think about your damage rotation. You just gotta think about the healing. So in that case, it could be good for the healers. But that's the thing. We're not gonna know all the people this is gonna help until we actually get it. But let's talk about who this is for. The solo player that don't really care what they're hitting. Say I never play priest, but I want to do some priest thing or level of priest. I just put the one button up and start mashing it, whatever. Okay? Or I turn on combat assist and I start seeing my rotation, and then I start, reading stuff. Because that's the thing. Let's be real. Most people don't want to read. Okay? People want to play a game. They want to play the game. They don't want to read. Okay? We're not playing a Telltale game. Okay? They want to load up and be like, yo, turn on highlight assist. Alright, whatever is blue, I click. Alrighty. Is this my big fancy form? That may get them to start using cooldowns. They'll think about it for a bit, and then yeah, I start hitting that stuff. So I think the assist is going to be great for the more casual player, for the people that know they just want easy mode, because easy mode should be an option, and one button mode is easy mode. We're talking about LFR players going to be getting a bump up from this easy mode, and I'm all for it. Okay, if one button mode is going to help you move and cast, move and do your rotation. If blue mode, because remember, blue mode doesn't have the delay. If that's just going to help you visualize your rotation, you can put, as you start clicking the blue buttons, you put them in 1, 2, 3, 4 order, and you just set up your rotation that way. That's what I try to do when I set up like my stepdad's. I try to put what he needs like right here. So he just goes down it. Now I just tell him, yo, turn on combat assist. Move the main stuff you start hitting over there. You'll get used to it yourself. Or I can just tell him, yo, you don't like that class, turn on one button mode. And don't even think about it, just hit that one button mode. You know what I like about one button mode? Is you can like go full screen mode and just mash one. Here, I'll show you. Or I'll just do it like this. This is what I think is great. Alright. Boom. I'm in turbo mode now. I don't need this. I don't need UI. That's what I thought was cool. But yeah, I definitely think this is going to be a game changer. A lot of people are going to be using combat assist. And then like I said, maybe you want that one button mode for movement time. Maybe you want that one button mode just because, it's LFR. Maybe you want that one button mode because you're doing old content. I think it's going to be good for tanks and delves. Solo players that want to just tank and delves, because it's going to do your damage for you. Like I said, it's not for healers. But that brings me to my next point. These do need work, right? Cooldown manager needs work. Highlight assist is probably going to need some work down the line. Single button assist, they kind of maybe got that. Maybe they need to work on healer bot. We see people do the click heal. They did add the click healing in game. But maybe more smart heals. Either the classes get more smart healy, or they add in like a heal bot that will highlight players like, yo, do this and click this spell when this starts being able to work with healers. Maybe we see that down the line. This is also definitely the spot where I'd see like damage meter and all that good stuff. But yeah, I definitely think this is the new age of WoW adding add-ons fully to the game. We got the OG gear score, as item level. Now we're gonna see more. But yeah, assist highlight, glowy blue, have a good time. Don't have to read your spells. You can just load up a game, click that, and be like, I'm not learning my spells. I'm not reading. I'm clicking. Alright? Or you get one button mode when you don't want to think and you just want to play. Because I do love WoW gameplay. That's why I'm probably not going to turn this stuff on. But some people want to play WoW for the world. You know, they want to play it for the story. They want to play it for the collection. They want to play it for dress up. And soon they're going to want to play it for the house. Some people just want to dress up a house. They don't want to worry about what they're casting. Anyways, thank y'all for watching. I can't wait for the patch today. This is going to be a game-changing feature for sure. But my favorite, I'll tell you, lore walking. Lore walking is going to be great. Anyways, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.